Hello again, it's your internet dad sharing life lessons with you that I offered my own sons. Don't forget, become a subscriber. It doesn't cost you anything, but you'll be alerted when a new video comes out, which it usually does twice a week. Now, today's talk may sound a little provocative to you, but it's a serious subject. It's entitled, Don't Thank Them for Their Service. And them I'm referring to are veterans. What they don't want to be offered is a thank you for your service with the implication that they are in some way victims by serving. They don't see it that way. The vast majority of them think they've won the lottery of life by serving in the armed forces. And you wouldn't think of thanking someone for winning a lottery. So keep that in mind. There are some do's and don'ts. I offer 4 of them. 1, don't embarrass an obviously very young recruit with the thank you for your service. They may not have completed basic training. They may never have left the United States. They may never not have joined their own unit yet, let alone had any real experience. You'll just embarrass them. Number 2 is don't ask them about their military service. Only 10% of military personnel do the actual fighting. So it's much more likely that you're going to be talking to one of the 90% that do perfectly normal jobs, quite similar to civilian use is. And they do it well and they're essential, but they're not fighting troops. So don't embarrass them with a question that might imply you think they are. 3, if you know that there is a veteran who was a real warrior, for goodness sake, don't ask them about their action. If they're the real thing, questions like that will trigger memories of friends they lost. So don't be surprised if they don't respond to you. Survivor bias is a real phenomenon. Number 4 is a real doozy. Don't believe a word if someone is telling you about their military service in graphic detail, volunteering lots of different details. The probability will be very high that they are complete fakes. This is particularly true if they claim to be members of special forces. Now, if you make contact socially or want to chat with a member of the armed forces, one thing they all have in common is that all of us went through basic training. Basic training is a time when the drill sergeant shout at you, you don't get enough sleep. And many people claim that basic training is actually harder than real warfare. I very much doubt that, but it's a good basis to start with. What it does produce is really fun memories of times together. So talk about basic training and let them talk to you at their own time about the real thing. There's a lot of laughs there, and nobody gets killed in training. They just wash out. Now, there are 2 groups that I do suggest need your thanks, and one you will be able to recognize and one you may not. The first one are veterans who have lost limbs, mostly with IEDs, or maybe rendered blind. And they'll be very obviously incapacitated. They will justify your help and your thanks, but certainly please not their pity. They have tremendous pride. The second group is equally small. These are the men who are suffering from PTSD, and a men and the occasional woman. And they'll be suffering frequently in silence. I personally support a special unit to support military charities. It's called the Equus Effect, EQUUS. And they're quite innovative. They use horses and the handling and looking after of horses to treat PTSD in military veterans and also EMS workers who have been through a tough time. It may seem odd to put veterans next to horses and ask them to look after them for a while, but I've done a day of the course and I'm very impressed. So if you want to support them, Equus Effect, Sharon, Connecticut, do so. But also, if you know of somebody whom you suspect strongly is suffering from PTSD, you can confidentially contact the Equus Effect and put the wheels in motion where they can be helped. What else can you do for veterans? Well, the easiest thing is to help them return to private life, whether they're returning from military service to college or to the place that you work. It's very easy to make them welcome. You'll find that they, by and large, make very good employees. They're reliable, show up on time, rarely complain, and make really good contributions to your company. So whenever you're presented with that opportunity, be supportive. It's going to be a lot more useful than some well-wishing but potentially embarrassing quote, "Thank you for your service." Till next time.